the moment your alarm goes off, your feet have to hit the floor and you got to go. And you got to go, 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 and you got to go. And I'm talking about every day here now. And then when you get to the studio, there's no moping. There's no, today I'm not feeling it. No. So consistency is number one, and energy is number two.
Yeah.
You have to bring the same energy every day. You can't waver.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the KO to Convo podcast. Got a big one for you. I'm so excited for this. The legend of Bay Area radio himself, Brian Murphy's in the flesh. Fellow Mill Valley guy, obviously fellow Bay Area sports fan. Actually, it's kind of, I'm honored to have him on the podcast. Grew up, listening to him, Murph and Max show, now the Murph and Marcus show. Man, this is amazing. But Murph, as obviously you're well known by Murph. Thank you so much for joining the pod, and I can't wait to get this thing going.
Well, it was fated to be. We found out that you and I grew up a street away from each other. I mean, my God! Shout out for the homies who know. Shout out in the mean streets of Enchanted Knolls in Mill Valley, California. What a name, by the way. Enchanted Knolls, right?
Every time I see that sign, I just think, I'm like, did we really grow up in a place called Enchanted Knolls?
When you're building subdivisions in the 60s, you got to have a name there. So yeah, but hey, man, that accounts for you and me just being sound, morally strong characters, because we grew up in such a strong neighborhood. So pleasure to be on.
Yeah. We're both pretty amazing alumni of the Mill Valley Little League. How did the kids do this year in the All-Stars?
Well, so I aged out. Rory, I still have a younger kid who's 13 who did do 13 All-Stars, but I tapped out at age 12. I figured it was enough time to. He'd heard from me enough, and we had a pretty darn good run in summer of 2024. That 12-year-old class that's now 13 won districts as 9s, 10s, 11s, and 12s, which is pretty darn cool. You only get those sort of classes only every few years or so. So that was an amazing run, and we just couldn't win sections. We could do an hour-long podcast on losing a section game to Napa, but we won't. We just tip our caps and we move on in the championship too. So, but no, I love, obviously, Boyle Park and Mill Valley Little League is a huge part of not just my life, but my older brother's life and all my friends. And it's funny, the Mill Valley Historical Journal, which is a pretty niche publication, this winter asked me to write the history of Mill Valley Little League in 3,000 words, which is pretty daunting, but it led me to an incredible many rabbit holes at the Mill Valley Library Historical Room, which I would recommend if you ever go. Their hours are limited.
Yeah, still limited to this day, huh?
Every time I went there, it was closed. I was like, well, you guys gotta, anyway. But when I did get in, there was just treasure trove after treasure trove found thanks to one of my contacts, have a black and white picture of Joe DiMaggio at Boyle Park at the 1964 opening day. Threw out the first pitch, pulled up in a Cadillac in a suit with a cigarette, threw out the first pitch, kept his schmag going, signed a few autographs, and split. So these are the things that have happened at Mill Valley Little League throughout the years. But yes, it's a bonding place, and it will always be a part. But the kids are all aged out there. No more Boyle Park. I just go hang on the fence and eat seeds and watch the next generation come up.
And when I was playing, because it's always been Boyle Park, but then they kind of, when I was playing, I think it was either minors or majors, they branched out to Friends as well.
Yes.
And they use Friends a lot too. And
Still.
it's just, yeah, it just doesn't feel the same. I mean, Boyle Park.
No. It's like the Arizona Fall League over there or something, It's like,
and then you go to juniors and you got to play at Alto Park in that big outfield. And I'm just like,
not nearly as romantic. No, there's nothing beats the Saturday at Boyle. And that's actually one of the things I wrote about was just kind of when it all comes down to it, it's just those Saturdays at Boyle, and not even the games. The kids' best memories are beyond the right field fence on the majors field, the stickball area, the little where you play pickle, where you bring your French fries and snacks, where everybody rides their bikes and hangs out under the redwood trees. And that's really most people's fondest memories are there, hanging there after games and playing pickle back there,
I would always get upset, my friends and I, when they wouldn't have, like, bases and you would have to bring your own bases to that little stickball place, and it was like, it's well, the biggest stick you could find, that's your bat, and it was the best,
It
especially
still
if
is just like the last repository in an increasingly confused and technological world. It's a little last slice of innocence and old world magic there.
yeah. Did you ever think, obviously both being, journalists and stuff like that, did you ever think that you were gonna go back to Mill Valley and have a blossoming career as you've had?
It's a good question. I mean, I had very many iterations of my dreams when I was growing up. I believe it or not, when I was in high school, I really was into politics. I always loved sports writing. Believe me, trust me, it
Yeah.
was always there. Sports Illustrated was my goal, was my dream. But I also really liked politics, and I wanted to cover like the White House for Time magazine. That was like a big dream of mine. So I remember writing my college essay to UCLA and saying I wanted to be the editor in chief of Time magazine and cover the White House, you know. But I also had a major sports Jones and read Sports Illustrated every week. It was magic for me. So I had many options, but it wasn't always going to be come back to Mill Valley. Sports Illustrated was it was kind of either be the editor in chief of Time magazine, which by the way, kids don't even know what Time magazine is today. So maybe that would be, or the other one is Sports Illustrated, which kids don't know either. But the real goal was to become a feature writer at Sports Illustrated, like those big boys like Frank DeFord and Curry Kirkpatrick and Gary Smith and all these legends who
Oh,
wrote
yeah.
70s and 80s and 90s. And but I never achieved it. I never achieved it. So I guess really the goal was to write for either Sports Illustrated or Time magazine. I wound up marrying a gal who was a reporter for Sports Illustrated, so I consider that sort of a as close as I got. I had several peers and friends that got to work for Sports Illustrated, and I always wondered, what did they do or have that I didn't have? Or is it just luck of the draw or some of that stuff? So my dreams didn't totally come true, but I've been very, 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 very happy with my entire career in sports media, which dates back to, gosh, writing for the Mill Valley Record in my senior
Wow.
year at Tam High when I skipped playing baseball my senior year and got into sports journalism and then onto the Daily Bruin at UCLA. And now here we are.
You talk about a publication that has perfected the art of grasping its readers just by the cover throughout the years, especially the younger demographic. That was Sports Illustrated growing up. It was just fantastic, and it was just it was just every single cover. I was just like enamored.
Well, I'm
You know,
glad that you're a young man, but I'm glad you remember those. It's funny, just today, literally today at work, a friend of mine who his name's John Platts, he broadcasts Stanford football and basketball, and he listens to our morning show. Just today, because last night was the big 18 inning Dodgers Blue Jays World Series game, and it had everybody talking. I mean, like everybody talking. My wife, who's a sports fan, but not could care less about the Dodgers and Blue Jays, was totally into the game. I was talking to my producer, John Curley, his wife, who's a casual sports fan, totally into the game. I was talking to my agent for some reason. I only talk to him like once a year. He lives up in Seattle. He called me to talk about the game. It's like, and he's not a huge sports fan either. But the point is that John Platts sent me this morning when the show starts. He usually sends me some text just to get my brain going. And he sent me the cover of the 1975 World Series Red Sox. There's the pitcher for the Reds, whose name is escaping me right now, is jumping in the arms of Johnny Bench. And it says, a series to remember. It's from November 3rd, 1975. But the point is, it was a Sports Illustrated cover. And I
hmm
remember the cover,
yeah.
and here it was. That was 50 years ago, 50
hmm
years ago. And I remember that cover, and it brought back emotions and thoughts. It's really sad that it doesn't exist anymore. But the kids, I mean, my kids are sports fans. They just get it different ways. They get it on their screens now. They are. They've followed their dad's kind of heavy, unspoken pressure to always go Giants, 49ers, Warriors, and nothing else. Hate the Dodgers, hate the Lakers, all that stuff. Hate the Seahawks really more than the Rams. The Rams were weird the way they went to St. Louis and all that. So, yeah, they have dutifully followed. No rebels in the house. They bought in wholeheartedly on the whole Giants, Niners, Warriors thing. So that's been a pleasing development in raising my children. Yes.
Well, I tell you what, I have a 9-month-old right now, so we're getting it ingrained in it early. We got a Giants onesie, we got the 49ers onesie, we got the 40 Warriors, whatever. We're we are getting him started early, and there's
That's
not
a boy,
stopping.
huh?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
So you start taking him to baseball games and start taking pictures at Oracle, and he'll have them forever.
Yep. Although the one thing is, so I married an Ohio girl, so her entire family are Ohio State fans. So
That's
that's the
interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
that's an
So
interesting little twist.
twist,
Maybe you
but
can make some room for the Buckeyes, I guess, maybe.
may
Make a little room.
well, here's the other thing. Like I'm a lifelong Oregon State fan because that's where my dad went. So it's like, which OSU do you want? I don't know. I don't know. It's,
I think he'd probably have a few more wins if he went with the Buckeyes over the Beavs.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But,
and a conference.
well,
Let alone.
colleges, obviously are totally dependent on that kind of stuff. I mean, I did not grow up a huge Cal Stanford fan at all. My dad, believe it or not, went to USC. It hurts to even
Ooh,
say that, because my sister and I went to UCLA. My brother played football at Occidental College, a small college down in LA.
yep,
But he stuck with SC, even though. So my dad raised us all SC fans, but now I just renounced that like a.
sure.
Oh, just shivered to even think about it. But colleges generally, you can kind of just go where your parents go. So, if your lad will have a good time rooting for both the Beavs and the Bucks.
What was your dad's reaction when you told him you were actually going to go to UCLA?
Well, my
That's
sister paved the way. I had an older sister, so she went
oh,
first. She went first,
so he had
and then,
experience. You're telling me.
yeah, so he was definitely he was used to it by the time I went. I think, to tell you the truth, he was pleased about the tuition because my dad made we were not hugely wealthy Mill Valley family. My dad worked for the state of California. He was a lawyer,
Mhm.
he's an attorney. He was a deputy attorney general. We made a nice living, but it wasn't an extravagant living. So USC is very expensive, and UCLA is much more affordable, especially back in the 80s. It was extraordinarily affordable. And I think my dad while he was a USC fan, he was not a freak about it and was pleased with wherever his children were going to go. Although I've told my own son, who's a senior in high school, I'm like, if you want to go to SC, okay, but I'll be a little, so thankfully he didn't. And boy, that tuition's only gone up, by the way, since. So I'm glad he's not going there. So,
Are you still pay plenty of attention to Bruin athletics or
oh yeah, oh
yeah?
yeah, it's the same way. Where did you go undergrad?
So I went to a small school in Ohio, 30 minutes north of Ohio State, called Ohio Wesleyan.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. A guy grew up in Mill Valley. His daughter plays sports at Ohio Wesleyan. Bobby Nee, his daughter, but she's there now. So it
Oh,
would be.
she's in. Yeah,
Yeah, but
probably.
that's funny. What a coincidence. He's a Mill
Yeah,
Valley kid. His daughter plays, I think, lacrosse or field hockey at Ohio Wesleyan. But anyway,
that's
so
my wife played field hockey there. That's really weird.
at Ohio Wesleyan,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
Enchanted Knolls field hockey. It wasn't me. It was Bobby Nee, not me. But
I know, I
he's
know.
now a
It's
golf pro in San Diego. By the way, he was a
knee Murphy, same ending
and
syllable E.
he was quite he was a little league kid too. He was a little league peer of mine
Oh
at Boyle
my
Park, but he was an
gosh.
American leaguer, not a national league. But that's a whole nother story. So anyway, the point is that yes, I do follow UCLA. I stay in touch. So I worked at the Daily Bruin, the school newspaper.
Mhm.
It was a huge life experience for me, and
Sure.
and pretty much I had three main homies. The four of us are still thick as thieves in text every Saturday or every whatever. And a lot of laments because it's not going too well down there, but we still stay in
Well,
touch.
hey, the Penn State one was huge, right?
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh. That was
I
it.
mean,
Talk about a lightning bolt out of the blue. Oh my gosh.
talk
So
about setting up James Franklin for
yeah,
his
they
end there. That
they
was
kind of
it.
changed. They kind of changed the course of Penn State football history with that one.
But I gotta ask, why does the media keep showing the offensive coordinator, the young guy, instead of the
Yeah.
interim head coach? What's going
Well,
on
that's a
here?
good question. Well, I mean, it starts with the story Neuheisel. I mean, his dad was a Rose Bowl winning quarterback at UCLA, and his
Mm,
dad was the former head coach at UCLA. So there's a real storyline there, and he's kind of the baby-faced son. Plus, he televises quite well. He's got the long blonde hair. I think he fits into the stereotype of UCLA. Oh, Beach Boy. He looks like he could be in the Beach Boys, or looks like a Santa Monica kid. So he kind of has this. He has the last name. He has the dad as the Rose Bowl quarterback. He has the dad as the head coach, and he's got the long blonde hair. So I think they're going for narrative over anything else there. But he got his comeuppance. We lost to Indiana 56-6. Kind of slowed down the train a little bit.
yeah, well, I mean, Indiana. I mean, the way they waxed Oregon, which I was very happy about, by the way. But
Dude,
they're rolling. They're rolling.
Indiana football. I mean, oh my God, Kurt Signetti. You got to give it.
That story is amazing, by the way.
That guy, everywhere he goes, he did his famous line, "Google me, I win." You know, dude, he's backing it up. You want to talk about walking the walk and talking the talk, man? I don't know. I'm not. Are you going to rule them out for winning it all? They might win it all. They might win it all.
That quarterback could be Heisman. I mean,
They might win it all. Indiana. I mean, you know, that's the beauty of sports, right? The beauty.
They do have to get through Ohio State, though. But you know, the way they've been playing,
I'd rate them a chance. I know last year when they got into the college football playoff, they got kind of shown up. It seemed like when they played Ohio State at the end of the year, they kind of got run out of the gym, and then Notre Dame handled them pretty easily. I think in the playoff, if I got that order right. I think they're different this year. I think they're even better. So I'm not ruling them out at all.
Is Jackie Robinson, in your mind, the best Bruin athlete of all time?
Man, it's such a point of pride to be from UCLA that anytime, you know, people talk about great alums or you just drop the mic. Like Jackie Robinson was UCLA. I mean, you drop the mic. And then from there, even more, Arthur Ashe, who was a great Wimbledon champion, who was a tremendous civil rights pioneer. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor back at UCLA, Lewis, as John Wooden called him, another. UCLA has a tremendous history of advancing African-American athlete causes that goes all the. Kenny Washington was a teammate of Jackie Robinson. Back when so many schools were not even integrated, UCLA was way ahead of the curve, way ahead of the curve. It's a real point of pride, actually, that UCLA was more evolved socially and athletically than a lot of schools. So yeah, that's definitely something you stick your chest out about and kind of walk around. And, you know, even guys like Bill Walton, who are so interesting and fun. I mean, the legacy of UCLA athletes is incredible, but it starts with Jackie for sure.
Let's kind of take a back a step in life real quick. We were just talking college, but let's take it back to high school real quick, because I know you're a big follower of Northern California high school, let alone Bay Area. First time in years, Murph, that San Rafael has beaten TAM in football. What in the world?
And good for them, first of all. I mean, listen, let's be honest, and I don't want to insult all my TAM football friends and family, because a lot of those kids who are playing on that team are kids I coached in Little League All-Stars, so I root for them. But TAM it's not a strong, and the turnout is not great, and the ball. No, I mean, you could do listen, it's long been a lament of mine. And I think it's happened in pretty much every community around the nation, every big metropolitan area around the nation. Starting in late 80s into the 90s, the rise of private school athletics, it's sucking at the marrow from the bone of public school athletics. It breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart. I try to tell everybody. So I'm old, you know, I'm 50. God, I'm 58, believe it or not.
Stop it.
I am.
You're not 58.
I am 58. And I remember vividly, the San Rafael Bulldogs as an athletic powerhouse. Jerry Goff, say no more. You guys all know Jared Goff, the Marin Catholic kid.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jerry Goff, the San Rafael Bulldog. Like, San Rafael put out absolute stuff. Jerry Goff, if people don't know, went to Cal, was a football player, was a great punter, and was he his other position was he a linebacker? Anyway, then he was a catcher on the baseball team and got drafted and played 7, 8, 9 years in Major League Baseball. Jerry Goff, Natu Tua Tagaloa, who was my era, played for the Cincinnati Bengals for years. San Rafael had so many great athletes. The Bulldogs, I mean, they were a power, and they were a power in football. Their coach, Bob Muster, was his name. He was the dad of Brad Muster, who was a great running back at San Marin.
Yeah.
And Friday nights at San Rafael at Miller Field were a big deal. And man, you just saw through the 80s and 90s and 00s, you just saw, I think any kid that grew up, pretty much any kid that grows up in Marin with any football talent goes to Marin Catholic. That's it. And it's over. The only school that has been able to keep its culture is San Marin. Mm-hmm. And that's a Novato school. Novato's always been strong in football, traditionally strong in football. Even back to when my brother was a really good football player in the 70s. He was first team All-League running back, great player, really good player. But even then, TAM had trouble with numbers. TAM they'd come on the field with, 20, 25 kids. San Marin would come on with 50 kids. Marin Catholic back then was just a Catholic school. You went there because you were interested in a Catholic education, which is great. I come from a Catholic background. I'm Irish Italian. All my Italian cousins went to parochial school. They went to Cardinal Newman and St. Ignatius because they were just Italian Catholic kids.
Yeah.
But now it has nothing to do with Catholicism. You just go there for the sports.
Nope.
I mean, some still go for Catholicism, but a lot are just going for sports. And it's sad for me. It just breaks my heart because we're in Catholic plays football, and it's not even. Well, I think one of the best developments has been these new divisions to get Marin Catholic and Newman and San Marin in the different division, and Tam and Redwood in the division, and these other ones.
You're talking about the league. Yeah. Yep.
Leagues. I'm sorry.
The Redwood
Adobe
Empire
League, the Mountain League, the Valley League.
Yeah,
Right?
so the Redwood Empire Conference, you got the Adobe, which is all the top dogs. You got the Marin Catholics, San Marins, Windsors, Newmans, Chos, and Vintage. And then you got the Valleys, which is the Tam. The Valley is the one below it. You got the Tam, the Redwood, Casa
Awesome.
Grande, Petaluma, American Canyon, who, by the way, American Canyons, they won a state title last year. And then you keep going down.
The Adobe.
The Adobe's the top one.
No, I'm sorry. The Valley, which is the no,
Valley, which is like the Tam and the Redwood.
and then who's the one below that?
The Bay.
It's like Drake, Archie.
Bay. No. So the Bay, and then there's the Mountain, which is the bottom one, which is the Archies, Nevados, San Rafaels.
See, Novato, so that's another example. Novato High School, when I was a kid and my brother was playing, Novato had Mike Morosky, who wound up being one of the best players to come out of Marin in the 70s. And he wound up being a backup quarterback for the 49ers. There were any number of Marvin Deloach. I can name Novato Hornets football was a thing. Terra Linda football. Terra Linda Trojans, like right now, Terra Linda, let's be honest, they're down and out. But they had a kid named Stacy Bailey who wound up playing for the Atlanta Falcons. They had talent. The Terra Linda San Rafael game, the Bell game as they call it, like that was a big game. Now it's just, and listen, credit to San Rafael. They have what's funny about that San Rafael senior class? That senior class, I was kind of on those kids from an early age because when I was coaching Little League All-Stars and my 11-year-old All-Star team was really, really good, we wound up playing San Rafael in the district championship. Great game. We barely beat them 2-1. San Rafael came so strong with their fans. I was like, what is going on? Because usually in Little League, it's Novato North, Novato South, Twin Cities. Tiburon's been good, and Mill Valley's always good. You don't really pay attention to San Rafael. They came surging. Well, it's funny. The quarterback of this San Rafael team, a kid named Lachlan Royston, and one of their linebackers, it's a long Olshansky.
Yeah.
They were key figures on that baseball team. So I was like, it's funny. They were competitive back then as kids, and now they're giving San Rafael its best football season in 15, 20 years or whatever. So It's kind of funny. Every now and then you get a class, right? Now, I don't know if San Rafael can sustain it. It might just be a little special class. But again, even at the level they're achieving, they beat Tam, but they're still not, threatening to, make a deep run or anything. But it is good for them, and congratulations to them. Their coach, I think, was a former Tam coordinator, and they placed a huge importance on that game. I think Tam kind of blew it, too. I think they had the lead and kind of
it was overtime. It was overtime.
Split it up a little bit, but hey, you tip your cap.
But hey,
we beat Redwood. That's all that matters. We beat Redwood in football. That's all that matters.
Funny fact: that is the second game Redwood has lost this year by a score of 7-2.
That's crazy. Are you serious?
First game they lost 7-2 to San Leandro.
Talk about scoregami.
Yeah, Redwood, Deadwood, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Always beat Redwood. Always.
I know it's a crazy game. It doesn't matter. It's like the Egg Bowl up here, Casa Grande, Petaluma.
Yeah,
it's like
I got to cover one of those years ago. Tam's beaten Redwood in football 3 straight years now. Do note.
T how you know how it is, right? Hey, I'm an honorary Tam kid, Murph.
You could have been one. You could have been.
I know.
Yes.
I know. But yeah, no, it's crazy how much the high school landscape has changed. Well, also now that Marin Catholic has got lights, that changes the game.
Been working out pretty well so far, I think, for them, huh?
Well, the first game, of course, they save it for San Marin. That's their first game, because San Marin's, they got the big quarterback, Rolovich's kid.
Yeah, I'm following it. Marin Catholic clocked them. I think it's funny. I believe, I have a great friend who teaches there, and Marin Catholic started like 0-3 or 0-4 or something like that. But all of their games were against big time powers, and I was like,
100%.
And they were all close games too.
Not all of them. I mean, Pittsburgh wasn't, but then again, it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. But I said to him, I bet you guys are gonna be pretty good this year. He goes, no, I don't think we have the team this year. I said, I don't know. I said, I bet that.
No, they're gonna. We have I'm covering the big game this week. Cardinal Newman Marin Catholic. So.
Oh, was that this week?
That's Halloween Friday night, baby.
Where's the game?
Up in Santa Rosa.
Who do you think? Who do you lean? Who's got more? What's the,
Newman's.
is that a flip? Is that a pick 'em? Is that a pick 'em?
It can be. It can be. I think. I mean, honestly, Marin Catholic's been on fire. Newman's offense has not been the best, especially they haven't started. Well, first of all, let me preface this by saying Newman's quarterback, who's a wonder kid. He's amazing. LT Redamosa, awesome kid. Broke his collarbone first game of the season.
Ooh,
So he's gauging whether to come back either this week or next week or whatever the case may
I
be.
hate high school injuries, man. It's like having a high school athlete as a son now.
And he's only a sophomore.
Oh, wow.
He's only a sophomore.
The window's so short for these kids to have these high school memories. I hate high school injuries. It breaks my heart. So I hope he comes back. So I have a great tie to Newman because my cousin is the varsity baseball coach there, Derek DeBenedetti.
Derek's your cousin?
Derek's my first cousin.
I'm gonna get on him about this. I'm gonna get on him about this. He has not mentioned you once, and that is an insult.
Total diss. He did total diss. And not only that, my kid's 14-year-old travel ball team, Southern Marin Arsenal, we play in this little fall ball league, pretty light fall ball league, but they had a quote unquote playoff. It was pretty light, but still, you want to, and we draw Derek DeBenedetti, Santa Rosa Rebels. So we drive up there on Saturday, and he beat us. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I'm the older cousin. You got to take. I wasn't coaching now. I wasn't coaching, but
fall ball. It's fall ball, Derek.
I know exactly. But I brag about him all the time because he's running a great program.
No, he just had a kid that he easily could have gotten drafted, but he decided to go UCSB. His name's Josh Janicelli.
Janicelli, right? Yeah,
6'5", just could hurl. He was pretty thin kid, but he could hurl 95 easy.
Tell Derek to bring his radio cousin into the conversation a little bit more. All right,
his radio cousin.
Now, I brag about him all the time, so I actually kind of root. And a lot of my cousins went to Newman, so I have a little bit of a soft spot for those guys.
Awesome. Speaking of radio, so a lot of things have happened over at KNBR, obviously, moving of the studios and stuff like that. Speaking of which, do you go make the trek down there, or are you recording somewhere?
Daly City is where we are.
Daly City? Yeah. But do you make the trek down there?
There was the day of all the terrible news when I think it was when they let go of Tolbert and Lund. It was just absurd and crazy, stupid stuff. They put out a press release, and our headquarters are in Atlanta, and that said that we were moving to Santa Clara. That thing got more traction than anything I've ever been associated with KNBR. I must have been asked 50 to 100 times, "Oh, dude, are you going to Santa Clara? Are you going to Santa Clara? Are you going to Santa?" That for some reason that news stuck, and it was not accurate. It was
it's still sticking, so I apologize about that.
You're 101 now. You're my 101st. Some person in Atlanta who doesn't even know the difference between Santa Clara and San Francisco or Corvallis or Columbus wrote a thing saying that we were moving to Santa Clara, and we were like, no, we're not. We're not moving to Santa Clara. Why'd they write that? And what the truth was, though, that we were moving to Daly City because we're shrinking. So instead of leasing a whole floor in San Francisco, we're now sharing offices with other radio stations from Bonneville, 99.7 FM and 96.5 FM. These FM music stations, we're sharing a floor with them in Daly City. So it's actually, to tell you the truth, it's not that big of a difference. 19th Avenue and Park Presidios timed in the mornings. I think I figured out that in the mornings, it takes me 4 minutes longer. The way home, 19th gets a little traffic. If people care about my commute, about 10 minutes longer. But in general, it's not that bad. So Daly City is our new home.
Yeah. Because the studio looks a little bit different with the ominous lighting and everything like that. I was like,
it's supposed to be good lighting. I don't know what you think. I don't know. It looks a little odd to you.
Well, it's just I mean, Murph, I've been listening to you for years and watching you for years. I'm so used to the backdrop and the TV and all that fun stuff. But things haven't changed. Well, I mean, things have changed obviously, but you're in the, you're not well into your run with Marcus. I mean, has the dynamic there always been the same? Did you guys need to kind of figure it out a little bit, or was it always?
First and foremost, Marcus has been fantastic. And the most important thing about the whole thing is that he came from Murph and Mac's show. Like he was our producer. He started as a producer, then he was our board op. So he contributed on the show with me and Paulie near the end. So he completely got what we were trying. He started right before the pandemic. So like January, February of 20 or something like that. So, and then they made the big move on Polly in November of 23. So 3.5, almost 4 full years that he worked with me and Polly. So he understood what we are trying to do, which is, we're not trying to cure cancer. We're not trying to make it into rocket science. We're trying to have fun. I mean, Paulie obviously was so much fun with his songs and his soundboard. He was a true fun radio
Yeah.
guy. And Marcus got that, and to his eternal credit, has tried to pick up the kind of be himself, which is more of a sports junkie than Paulie per se, like kind of into gambling and football and things like that. Whereas Paulie was just really focused on the Niners and the Giants and the Warriors. Marcus was actually he's a Raiders fan and a Yankees fan, but also just kind of more of an intense sports fan than Paulie. So, but to his credit, he still tries to maintain the light vibe that we have. He hasn't tried to, no, I'm going to do, no, he's been very, very, very good. That said, Marcus knows this. Paulie and I had 18 years, and it'll never be the same. I mean, obviously, because they're different people. Paulie was a part of my life for every day for 18 years, and it was just, the radio business sucks. It absolutely sucks. It's just cost cutting. They looked at the two of us and said, we're going to cut one of these salaries, and they just cut him, and it was just heartless and
no input, no nothing.
No what? Sorry.
No input from you guys. No nothing. Or
Are you kidding me? No. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? No. And I mean, I honestly was like, well, I'm just going to matter of time. As Brent Jones, he went on the next day with Tolbert and said, how's Brian Murphy? Now Brent and I are old buddies because I covered the Niners, and he says he's breaking my balls. He goes on the air the next day. He goes, how's Murph? Or as I like to call him now, dead man walking is what he said. So, I mean, I honestly was like, when my contract runs out, insanely, incredibly, I don't know how it gave me an extension last April for 4 more years. So I just survived. Somehow, some way. I survived, and but I miss Paulie all the time. I love Marcus. Paulie and I are still very close. I've done his podcast a few times. I'll try to do it as much as I can. I love him to death. I miss him. And Marcus misses him too, to a degree. He loved Paulie. Paulie's one of the most likable people you'll ever be around. And he's also incredibly talented at what he does. So he and I did Sound Summit. I can see Mount Tam out the window here, but we did Sound Summit as this concert in September up on Mount Tam. And we've done that last couple Septembers. So yeah, man. I mean, listen, they get rid of Tolbert, they get rid of Paulie, they get rid of John Lund. I mean, it's like, it speaks for itself, right?
the hits keep on coming. Yeah.
It just speaks for itself. You could just, it's money makes the world go round.
But for you survived in advance. that's
with like not happy about it, other than taking care of my family, putting food on my family's table and a roof over their head. But it's sad. It sucks. It's just, it'll never be the same.
Yeah. What in your mind, like, is there kind of a secret sauce that really makes a successful radio show work? If there's like a certain couple of things that a radio show has to get right for it to be successful. I mean, what are there, if there are any?
Just the first two things that kind of come to mind and kind of have been driving me forever. Number one is consistency. You have to, and I tell people, nobody likes getting up at 4 whatever or 3 whatever in the morning. But the moment your alarm goes off, your feet have to hit the floor, and you got to go, 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 and you got to go. And I'm talking about every day here now. And then when you get to the studio, there's no moping. There's no, today I'm not feeling it. I don't know. So consistency is number one, and energy is number two.
Yeah.
You have to bring the same energy every day. You can't waver. You can't. The listeners will figure it out. They'll sense it. And so if you are consistent and they can rely on you, and your energy is the same every day, then hopefully, now believe me, you are not going to please them all. Trust me. I've done it it'll be 21 years, November 15th. And I have gotten more mean-spirited texts and emails than you could ever imagine. But I've also gotten tons of extremely positive ones. And the ones who like you, the ones who hate you are just going to hate you. That's it. It's like being a politician running for office. is this going to be good? I'm never going to vote for you, right?
No.
But if you're the ones who like you, they rely on you kind of every day. I just heard it. I was at an event just yesterday. I was at an event, and some really nice people were saying some really nice things, and they centered on what I just told you, how they think of me, they think of our show and my show as taking their kids to school every day. And they said it's kind of, I hate to even use this word, but sort of like reassuring, like, we're all in our place. We're all in our place. To get really, really, really sappy or deep about it, there was a morning radio guy when I was growing up named Dr. Donald D. Rose, who was the guy in the mornings when I was a kid. He did KFRC 610, and it's on YouTube. Somebody did a documentary on him once. I actually watched it, and he was silly. He was zany. He was like Paulie. He had a lot of sound, a lot of goofy stuff, and he played music. And in the end of the documentary, I got to go back and watch this again. But he goes, really, what am I doing every morning? He goes, I'm doing this. I'm playing these silly sounds. I'm playing this music. I'm giving the weather, whatever. He goes, but he said this thing, it was pretty heavy. It hit me. He goes, what I'm really saying, though, every morning is I'm saying to everybody, hey, we made it through the night and everything's going to be okay. And I was like, damn, that's deep. You know what I mean? It's like, so I think ultimately at its core, that's what a successful show will do for a listener.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. All right, let's switch back to pro real quick. We're going to have some fun here, Murph. We're going to go, and this should be probably an easy one for you because I know you got so many names in your head. We're going to go all-time Giants starters. So we're gonna start with catcher. We're gonna go around the diamonds, around the outfield.
I'm certainly whatever I do, I'm gonna forget somebody. I know that.
You can go
work like it used to.
Obviously, not just limited to San Francisco. Go New York Giants as well. All-time Giants, just the name Giants. So whoever you want,
New York Giants too.
If you want,
I'm not that old, buddy. I'm not that old.
Oh, come on. This is Giants.
We're gonna Mellot out in left field, I guess. Well, you can't. You got Barry Bonds in left field, right?
Okay, so let's go with catcher first. Who are you putting behind the dish?
Well, I mean, come on, Buster Posey.
Beautiful. Okay, Buster Posey behind the dish. Who you got at first base?
Brutal, because I love Will Clark. He was my favorite Giant of all time, but Willie McCovey beats him out.
Does he? Is it close?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Now, that's an interesting one. Second base.
Well, I mean, the two that come to mind are Robbie Thompson and Jeff Kent. I was a Robbie Humbaby guy, but I think you got to go Jeff Kent.
Go Jeff Kent. Got to go Jeff Kent. We're gonna skip short real quick. We'll go to the hot corner, third base.
That's a tough one. I mean, in the heyday of the Mays McCovey days, it was a guy named Jim Ray Hart, who was not really. I think he was good. Then Darrell Evans when I was growing up, and then into the 90s, who was it? Like Bill Miller, and then you had like David Bell, and then you've had like Juan Uribe, and I mean the greatest Giants third base. Am I somebody from New York I'm forgetting? Who is the greatest Giants third baseman? See, I may be forgetting like an insanely obvious one right now.
Matt Duffy.
Bill Madlock was there when I was there for a little bit. Man, Giants third baseman. I don't know a New Yorker. I can't come up with a New Yorker. And then during the well, I guess you go Panda. Do you? You go Pablo Sandoval?
Could go Panda.
I guess we're gonna go with him. Pablo Sandoval.
Panda. All right. Shortstop.
Well, that's Brandon Crawford.
Yeah.
Like easy. Literally, it is Brandon Crawford.
No,
I know Travis
100%.
Jackson played in New York and was a Hall of Famer, and Brandon's not. I'm sorry, I just can't go with Travis Jackson. It's got to be Brandon Crawford. It's got to be.
Travis
There's
Jackson.
never going to be a better. I mean, you miss him every day. Like you watch everybody they've run out of shortstop the last 2 years. You're like, where's Brandon Crawford?
The best looking shortstop I've ever seen in my life. Let's be honest.
Yes, exactly. So,
and also, I don't think Travis Jackson hit a grand slam in his debut against the Brewers either.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
I know. Crawford could get there though. I don't know. Many World Series to his name.
He ain't getting there, buddy. He ain't.
All right, fair enough. One can have hope. Left field. Bonds.
Yeah.
Center field.
Come on. Come on.
Willie
it ain't Drew
Mays.
Gilbert, all right, buddy? It ain't Jung-Hoo Lee, all right?
Aaron Rowan, what about him? I'm just kidding.
Number 24, my friend. Number 24.
What about right field?
Well, I guess then, I mean, Jack Clark would be the guy I'd put, but I guess because I have to be fair. And I don't know if the guy ever played right field, but I guess I got to put Mel Ott there. I don't know if he played right field. I know he's an outfielder. Did he play right? I'll have to look it up on Baseball Reference.
Yeah, he might.
I do a little. He probably didn't actually. I'm probably I'm probably cheating here. I can look him up right now. Mel Ott. How incredible is it that now we can look up and find out every where Mel Ott played in the 1935 season. They'll break down his
right field. Yeah, he was right field.
He was?
He was right field. Yeah. That's what it said on MLB too.
I hate to do that to my guy Jack Clark, who I love.
I thought you were gonna go. I thought your guy was gonna be Hunter Pence for a second.
No, too short. Well, he played. Yeah, in 1930, he played 146 games in right. He also played left. He also, You know what's interesting? Yeah, so he played. Yeah, right field. We're going with him. There it is, Mel Ott. Boom, I did it. Bonds, Mays, and Ott. That's pretty good.
Wow, that's
I left Bobby Bonds.
Well, who's leading off? Who's leading off?
Bobby Bonds was really, really good too. Who's leading off? God, well, geez. Well, who's leading off? In that.
Keep in mind, in this scenario, I'm not doing the whole designated hitter rule. We're going old school National League pitcher bats.
God, maybe Pablo? Oh, no. On base.
Pablo leads off?
No.
Oh, Murph.
Well, who? It's not Posey. It's not McCovey. It's not Kent. It's not
Mays.
Crawford. It's not Bonds. Mays? Maybe.
I would throw a lefty up top, though.
Well, Pablo could be a lefty. He's a switch hitter.
Was Ott a switch hitter, too, though?
He might have been a lefty. Mel Ott. I put nothing but sluggers out there. I didn't put any leadoff guys out there. So
let me look. Yeah, no, Mel Ott was a switch. 70 as a switch hitter.
That? How many times did Pablo Sandoval lead off in his career? I bet he did.
He must have.
Anyway, we don't really have a true leadoff hitter, but we'll win some games. Listen, Shohei's hitting leadoff, so let's lead off with Mays then.
God.
Well, Mays is leading off.
Fair enough.
There's our answer.
Starting pitcher, relief pitcher, closer.
I only get one starting pitcher?
No. Yeah, you only get one.
I only get one?
Okay. If you want two, I'll give you two.
Well, I mean, as much as I freaking love Tim Lincecum for all my life, he can't match Juan Marichal. Marichal's career is insane. I do this date in Giants history, and do you know how many times we say Juan Marichal threw a complete game and struck out 11, Juan Marichal threw a complete game and struck out 11, Juan Marichal threw a complete game, Juan Marichal threw a no-hitter, Juan Marichal threw a complete game. Juan Marichal is the most underrated pitcher because he didn't win a Cy because he pitched during the era of Koufax and Gibson. And he was always like, those guys, even though Marichal was like unbelievable every year, there were just always these years where somebody was just a little bit better, just that much. Like Drysdale was like, no, Marichal, Koufax, Marichal, Gibson, Marichal. He was insane. I urge everybody to go revisit Juan Marichal's career. And then obviously Christy Mathewson, go look at his career. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. He was a absolute titan in Giants history. Absolute titan. People should not sleep on Christy Mathewson. He was a gigantic figure back then. So I'd go Mathewson and Marichal, my 1-2, and then who's my closer?
Well, you got a relief pitcher and a closer. So I mean, if
just
if
one relief pitcher and then a closer, well, then I'll make Lincecum my relief pitcher.
Oh, you're gonna bring him in like Bumgarner in Game 7.
2012, he came out of the pen against Detroit.
He did.
So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, or Bummy, right? We could do Bumgarner. I'm going to go Lincecum, though. All righties, though. I need a lefty. And then for closer, I mean, there's a lot of great ones. And obviously, Fear of the Beard, he closed out a World Series. Sergio closed out a World Series. And I love Sergio. I have a great relationship with him. And Brian Wilson's a fun dude. But, and Rob Nen might have been the nastiest of them all. Like, he might have had the best. He might have had the best stuff of them all. But this is the only one I'm going to make a sentimental pick. Because we lost him, but I love this guy so much. And he had a bit of a choppy run at the end, but there's nothing beat for me on a Candlestick night in the 1990s. Rod Shooter Beck. Rod Beck. The mullet and the arm waving and I just need Rod Beck in my club. I need him in my clubhouse. Drinking beers, hanging loose, smoking cigarettes. I just need him. Now, is he their best closer ever? No, it's either Nen or Wilson.
It's character.
But I just need him. I need him in my clubhouse.
Who's managing for you? Boch.
I love Dusty, and I love the Hum Baby. I was a big Roger Craig guy. He changed the fortunes of our franchise. But come on, man. I mean, come on. There's only one guy you want ambling out to make a pitching change, and bringing in Javi Lopez and Jeremy Affeldt and Santiago Casilla and Sergio Romo.
Remember when Yusmeiro Petit had that little run as a reliever
just
for a
talked
little
about
bit?
Yusmeiro Petit today on the show because the 18-inning game they had against Washington, he threw 6 innings, and we were saying that guy for the Dodgers, Will Klein, who was a nobody, who threw 4 innings of shutout ball for the Dodgers. He's guy's gonna be if the Dodgers win the World Series, that guy's gonna become a legend and like do autograph sessions until like 2070 in Southern California. But Petit was like that. He went 6 in that. So I love Petit. Yeah, but Bochy's my manager. Bruce freaking Bochy.
Bruce freaking Bochy. Who is your obviously, lots of memories growing up, with all these different venues and stuff. Obviously, Oracle was a big one, Candlestick, things like that. What's your favorite memory of a Candlestick, whether it be a Giants or a Niners game?
Man, wow. I mean, that's hard to distill to one, but I had so many, but.
Is there one that immediately comes to your mind?
Yeah, one that immediately came to mind was the 1989 National League Championship Series, Game 5. Unbelievably beautiful sunny October afternoon. Will Clark off of Mitch Williams. So I was 22. I just turned 22, and in my life they'd never made the play. I mean, they made the playoffs in '71, but I was 3 or 4, so I didn't remember it. But they hadn't gone to a World Series in my lifetime. When you're 22, that seems like a long time.
Yeah.
There it was. It was Candlestick, 56,000. People forget Candlestick was huge. Like Dodger Stadium is big. All the stadiums now are like 40,000. Candlestick was gigantic. It seated 56, 57, whatever. Will Clark signaling off of Mitch Williams to get the Giants to take the lead in the bottom of the 8th. And I'll never forget. I lost my mind. Took off running. We were in the upper box. My sister got tickets. God bless her. I was working at the LA Times, but I drove up. I asked for 2 days off work. I drove up on the Saturday night. I went to the Sunday game, Game 4. Matt Williams hits a home run after like an 11-12 pitch at bat. At a huge moment in that game on the Sunday night. And then they had a matinee on Monday. They had to win it or they were going to go back to Chicago. They were still up 3-1, so you're feeling pretty good, but you didn't want to go back to Chicago. Weird things could happen. 87, they went back to St. Louis up 3-2 and lost both games, 6 and 7. Jose Akendo, I'll never forget it. But so Will hitting that. And Will was like, I feel bad. I benched Will for Willie McCovey. He's always been my guy, Will Clark. And he's
hilarious, by the way. He's just a
funny
guy.
He's amazing on the radio. He's amazing. So him ripping that single up the middle. But there's so many others. When I was a beat writer, I covered the 49ers in 94 when they finally slayed the Dallas Cowboys in the 94 NFC Championship. Steve Young getting Joe Montana off his back. That was unbelievable. I went to the last 49er game at Candlestick in 2013. That was an incredible night. And me and my buddies and Creative Tony from KNBR works with Paulie Mack now. Closed. We were the last people at Candlestick to the Stadium Club till 2 a.m. And we walked out. We were the last people there. So, I mean, Candlestick was like obviously not charming, but it was ours, Oracle's incredible. I mean, I still can't believe they built that park. I still can't believe the Giants.
Well, to me, it'll always be Pac Bell because that's what I grew up.
And it was a better name too. It was a perfect name. It was a beautiful name.
I agree.
And yeah, man, Candlestick. And then any number of cold nights when there was only 7,000 of us there when you're building your character. Those are the fun ones too.
I think my first Niners game at Candlestick was around 2000 or so. Again, proving my youth here, but rolled up in a Garrison Hurst jersey. That was my first Niners jersey ever.
And I covered him. I covered that team. I covered the 97, 98
Talk
Niners.
About an underrated runner, man.
He's fantastic. He's still affiliated with the Niners too. We did an event. We do the Dwight Clark Legacy event in the spring, and he flew out from Georgia for it last spring. And gives of his time. He's a great guy. Great guy.
But speaking of Pac Bell, real quick, I do want to bring this up real quick. The one game that obviously after the heartbreak of 2002, the one game that really reinvigorated my interest, not that it needed to be, but that got me up and going again, really was 2004 Barry Bonds versus Eric Gagne.
Yeah. I was at that game. Were you at the game?
I was at that game.
I was at that game too.
I was young, but I didn't know what everyone was cheering about until, I was like,
Giants lost that game.
I know they did, but no one remembers the result.
Bonds is in the news because of this whole intentional walking of Shohei thing. We're like, Really? You guys are like freaking out because Shohei got walked 4 times in a game?
Well, let me tell you a story. Let
Let
me
me tell
tell
you
you.
about years and years of intentional walks. I mean, bro, you guys are crying about one game. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness, $700 million, you know.
But I mean, it's funny. It'll be interesting tonight. I mean, the game starts in a few minutes, but they might. If they're gonna walk him to start the game, that'd be crazy. They shouldn't. They should pitch to him. But
Do you think Bonds would go for over 700 million in his prime
today,
today?
well, I mean, God, probably. I mean, who's second to Shohei in
Was it
contracts?
was it Bryce? It was not Bryce, is it?
I mean, Shohei 700 million. It depends how many years. 10 years. You're talking about what, 70 a year? That's Shohei contract's weird with all the deferments too. It's kind of hard to
We
even.
got, let me see. Nope. Oh, nope. Well, Shohei got he's now unseated because Soto got 15 years, 765.
There you go. So yeah, depends what age Barry was. I remember what he got. He was 26 when he became a free agent or whatever, and the Giants signed him for 7 years, 42 million, and it seemed astronomical.
That's crazy.
It was astronomical at the time.
It goes Soto 765, Shohei 700, and then Aaron Judge at 360. So talk about that. I know.
And that was just a few years ago. It's a 13-year deal, right?
Yeah, it was. Let me see. So Soto was 15, Shohei's 10, Aaron Judge was 9 years,
What about Bryce Harper?
13 years, 330.
Yeah. It's a steal, right? That's why I'm still so mad at the Red Sox for trading Mookie Betts, because it's just destroying us that he's a Dodger. And they were afraid to pay they were like, he wants 300 million. He wants they were like, we're not paying 300 million. Dude, 300 million is like a freaking bargain these days. They could have paid him.
I
If they signed him in 2021, they'd be stealing money, so.
It is. I mean, it is. It is. But hey, Corey Seager got 10 years, 325. I didn't know that.
Mamas raise your babies to be baseball players.
I seriously. I mean, that's where a lot of the money is. I mean, all the NBA is going down and stuff like that. So all the money needs to
Baseball's
go
guaranteed too. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's the big thing. Cool. All right. Well, unfortunately, I know you got some stuff to do. You got to watch the game, prepare for tomorrow.
Got to work. It's called
you gotta work. We gotta work. But listen, Murph, it's an honor to meet you and talk to you on the podcast. Thank you so much for joining. This has been a lot of fun on my end. I hope it's been a lot of fun on yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who knew when we found out we grew up a street away from each other? It's kind of not now 30 years apart, but hey, same thing. So that's awesome. It was meant to be. And anything from North Bay high schools to Mel Ott. We've covered it all.